This is the KUSI News at 6:30.
Welcome back to the KUSI News at 6:30. I'm Alan Dutton.
I'm Sandra Moss. Thank you so much for joining us. The nonprofit Promises2Kids is an organization that helps foster children have a brighter future, and families too. A lot of these kids come from homes that have suffered from some sort of neglect or abuse.
Yeah, and joining us right now is Tanya Torreson, the CEO of Promises2Kids. Thank you for being with us tonight, Tanya.
Yes, thanks.
You guys help thousands of kids every year. Of course, I know one of the big programs is the toy drive, right?
Yes, so we help the 3,000 children that live in foster care on any given day in our community. So there's a large number of children. They're in foster care through no fault of their own, and we're just trying to raise some awareness and brighten the holidays for them this year.
And the holidays are an important time because that is your toy fundraiser, gift fundraiser for these kids that they're all ages. Give us an idea what kind of toys you're collecting, especially for some of these teenagers that are in foster care. What do you buy?
Yeah, it's funny, I was looking at that and asking some of our youth because, it changes every single year. So we do have a wish list that's up on our website, but they really are looking for gift cards, things like Walmart, Amazon, they're shopping online, looking at things. There's a number of fitness stores, things like that they really enjoy. They also enjoy books, games, skateboards are big. So anything that you would think that somebody could use, they also would really, really want.
I can see where the gift cards would come in handy because a lot of teens like to pick out their own gifts, right?
Absolutely.
So tell us how all this began with your program.
So years ago, well over 25 years ago, we started partnering with BOMA, Building Owner and Managers Association, and they came together and said, what can we do to raise awareness about foster care, but really provide gifts so that, on Christmas morning, a young adult can come in or a little child can come in and say, you know what, somebody cared about me, and open something. And so they started by putting bins in about 80 different office buildings, and now we're well over 180. Wow. So almost any office building downtown and around the county, there's one of our bins.
That's wonderful. Yeah. You also help dozens of agencies, right? You do collect toys and items for them as well? Yeah,
so I almost like to say it as we're sort of the clearinghouse. So all of the gifts that come into Promises2Kids, we have a warehouse, and we bring them up there. We sort them by age, by gender, and then we invite social workers from all of the different foster care agencies and the county and foster parent associations to come in and shop for their kids. So they come in and it's like a little store, and they get to pick out for Johnny and Susie, and then they take the gifts off and they go out and deliver them like elves to the families.
Is this the biggest event of the year that you do?
It is. So it's our biggest youth-focused event, so serving every child in foster care. We raise about between 10,000 toys a year, which is phenomenal. And then in the summer, we also do more of a fundraiser, which is our concert. And we do that at, we've always done it at the Estate Home of Joan Waite, but it's our 10th year. And it raises just about $1 million to support our programs throughout the year.
And for people who might be listening right now and want to get involved in Promises2Kids year-round, how do you do that? How do you become a volunteer?
Yeah, so we use about 400 volunteers a year, so we definitely need people. They could do things from sorting gifts to being a mentor to a youth to hosting our Camp Connects. All they have to do is go online at promises2kids.org, and they'll find a link there that will say volunteer. And they start by just signing up for an orientation.
Mm-hmm. It must be so heartwarming for not just you, but all your volunteers, when you do see the faces of these kids in their eyes that they've received the gifts during the holiday season.
It's pretty amazing, and what you find is so many of the youth are selecting gifts or wanting gifts that they then give to somebody else. Yeah. So you think about these youth who sometimes have nothing, and instead of wanting for themselves, they pick out a gift for their foster parent, or they pick out a gift for their sibling.
Wow.
And it's pretty emotional.
Yeah. The other thing that's really tough is that some of these teenagers, once they turn 18, they go out of foster care, and there's kind of a gap because they have been receiving support and then they get none. Is that something that you deal with as well?
It is. So we have our Guardian Scholars program where we start in high school and we focus on education, but it could be getting through high school and then going to vocational training, going to college, going to community college. And the whole time we're looking at how do we soften that blow? How do we make sure that they have the resources and the support through a mentor or a case manager to make sure that they don't just end up homeless or, have no one to turn to, because you're right, it's a significant problem.
And I'm sure you see a lot of successes because these kids have been through a lot by the time they turn 18 and they're on their own. So the success, I mean, they've got to be driven to go out and to make it on their own.
Yeah, sometimes I look at some of our youth, they'll come in my office or I'll read about their story and their scholarship application, and I sit there and I think, there's no way that I could overcome what they've overcome. Yeah. And then they walk in and they're getting their master's degree, they're getting, their first job, they're moving into their first apartment, and I look at them and I'm just so in awe of all that they've accomplished.
Yeah. Not a hand down, a hand up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, great. Well, we will have all of the information for Promises to Kids on our KUSI website. Thank you so much for sharing the story with us tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for all the help. I mean, we couldn't do this without KUSI.
Right.
So
Tanya, thanks for dropping by.
Yeah.
Good to see you. All right, we're going to check in with